I'm gonna teach you how to get a credit limit increase on your Capital One credit card with absolutely no hard inquiry. Listen, most people have no idea that Capital One has a hidden system that can automatically increase your credit card limit without you ever calling in, without submitting paperwork, and best of all, no hard credit check. This is the exact same system I've used personally and shown clients to use. And in this video, I'm walking you through exactly how it works, the triggers that Capital One watches for, and how to game the system to practically guarantee a credit limit increase every 91 days. But heads up, miss even one of these steps and your request could be denied for 6 months. So let's break it down. I want to be really clear that being in the Capital One family is a big deal. So if you heard anybody say, oh, Capital One sucks, you don't want to be with them. No, it's not true, because you want to have at least 1 to 3 of the biggest banks on your credit profile. That's of course Capital One, Discover Bank, Chase Bank, American Express, and Citibank. Having at least 1 to 3 of these on your credit profile shows that you're a responsible borrower with a large bank. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. This massive merger between Capital One and Discover Bank is going to change everything with Capital One. So you want to focus on getting those credit limit increases as soon as you possibly can, because they might not be available later on. So I broke the video down into 4 very important steps that you do not want to miss. So let's go ahead and jump into step number 1. So step number 1 is know the magic number, and that is 91 days. Capital One typically reviews your account every 91 days for automatic limit increases. Not 90, not 100, 91. They've legit baked this into their system like clockwork. But here's the twist. Just waiting 91 days won't do anything unless you hit the next criteria. Now moving on to step number 2, trigger Capital One's internal algorithm. They're not just looking at time, they're tracking 3 key behaviors. Number 1, Capital One is paying attention to your consistent usage. You need to be using at least 30 to 50% of your limit every single month. Use it or lose it, literally. Now, number 2 of the key behaviors is what I call the PIF method, pay in full. I cannot stress this enough to you. Always pay off your balances before the statement closes. And you ask yourself, but why, Mike? Why does that matter? Because Capital One loves when you're responsible, but still give them swipe data. Because everyone fails to realize or even just process that Capital One is one of the largest subprime lenders in America. So they're used to seeing people default, but when you don't default and you're a responsible borrower, they're going to reward you for that. And the third and final key behavior is multiple small charges weekly, because this tricks their system into thinking you're active. 4 to 5 transactions a week, even for $1 or $2, can work wonders. So when you go into the gas station, buy yourself a pack of gum or a water or a soda, something to make that actual weekly multiple changes trigger. Think about it. If you're using your card weekly, paying it early, and using 50% of your limit, that screams responsible, profitable user. And that's exactly who they want to keep around. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Luis. Luis's credit score went up 261 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. And Jency's credit score went up 225 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget James. James's credit score went up 207 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast's link is going to be in the video description and pinned at the top of the comments for anyone that needs to fix their credit. I'm gonna give you a quick little bonus here. A lot of people have been asking me in groups and on social media, is Capital One really closing credit card accounts because people are cycling their credit cards? And the answer is no. We're not seeing any massive drops or any massive closures of accounts out there. These people that have been talking about it, or however it started, they probably had some issues with Capital One where they were probably carrying balances for far too long, or they defaulted, whatever it may be. It's not a big deal with Capital One right now. We're not seeing a bunch of closures. So stick to the regular recipe that I'm telling you about right now and you'll be perfectly fine. Now, some people will say, well, what is cycling, Mike? Cycling a credit card is when you use it to its full limit. So if it has a $300 limit, you use $300, then you pay it off, and then you use $300 again. You do this as many times as you possibly can if you want to. This tactic still works for anybody that's curious about what it is and if it's possible that this could help you raise that limit also. Yes, it does, but it's not necessary, to be honest with you. Last part's the most important. Now moving on to step number 3, understand the no hard inquiry policy. Here's the best part. Capital One doesn't do hard pulls for credit limit increases as long as you do it inside their system. Never, ever, ever call them and try to do it over the phone because that will cause a hard inquiry. Now, when you do this on your desktop or inside the app in your phone, it's all soft pulls. So you can trigger a limit increase and your credit score doesn't budge. But here's the big but, there's a catch. If you request a limit increase manually before 91 days, they can freeze your eligibility for months. This is the biggest mistake that people make. You're not hitting all of that criteria and then you go do this before that 91 days, you get flagged and then you have to start all over again. So do not click that request button too early. Let the system do it for you. Now moving on to step number 4, use this trick if you've been denied. If you've already been denied a credit limit increase, here's how to reset your chances. Number 1, you want to call Capital One and ask, what internal reason code triggered the denial? They'll usually say something like not enough recent usage or high utilization. But if they say, oh, we don't know, then say, hey, can I please speak to a supervisor? And you have to be the kindest person you've ever been. Don't be rude to these people because they're there to help you. Number 2, fix exactly what they said. If it was a usage issue, increase weekly charges. And remember what we said, you could do $1, $2, $5, just using it consistently. If it was a payment issue, then start the pay in full method. You have to do it. If you don't do it, this isn't gonna work. And the final one, if it was income, update your stated income online right now. Even a small bump is gonna help. Because remember, this is stated income. Unless you put some crazy amount on there, they're not gonna ask you for any documents for proof of income. And then you're gonna wait the next 91-day cycle and they'll often auto-approve the increase on its own. Now moving on to step number 5, the hidden income multiplier. Most people don't even know this is a thing, or they just simply forget about it. But updating your income inside the Capital One portal quietly boosts your eligibility. Now remember, they don't ask for docs unless it's a huge jump. So if your income has changed even slightly, or if you forgot to add side hustle money, update it. Because Capital One evaluates your income to limit ratio. So if you're making $55K and you only have a 500 limit, you're underutilized and they want to correct that. And here's the bonus that I didn't tell you about. Capital One has credit limit increase friendly cards. So literally some of Capital One cards are way more likely to get automatic increases. As an example, the Quicksilver, the Saver, the Venture One, all of those are more commonly automatic increases. But if you're holding one of the credit rebuilder cards and you've been denied multiple times, like the Platinum or the Secured, it might be time to upgrade or get a second card to access the hidden automatic credit limit increase features. Now, if you've made it this far, you're probably wondering, what if I want instant results and not wait 91 days? Good news, I've got a video showing you how to boost your score up to 100 points using a tool that attacks all 12 credit bureaus with a 110% money back guarantee. It's helped thousands of people unlock better cards and better limits. So make sure to watch this video right here and I'll show you the dispute method banks don't want you to know about. And don't forget to subscribe to increase your credit score.